week later after the track day, and we're back in the unit now. Micra made it home after being sent around the track. It did very well, I must say. I was not expecting big things out of this, but it was actually keeping up with some of the cars on track. So very, very happy with how this performed. But obviously with the track day comes a couple of things that your car's not going to come out of it perfect. So one of which today is going to be bleeding the brakes again, and also this wheel just down here, the CV boot clip has come a bit loose, so it was actually flicking CV grease on the inside of the wheel. So what we'll do is just secure that with a zip tie, and that should be that. So the first thing we'll do today is to jack the car up, take all the wheels off, and then begin bleeding the brakes. Right, there we are. Like I say, didn't film it because it's quite boring. All brakes are bled, and yeah, a hell of a lot of air bubbles and dirt came out. You can even see in the bottom of there, that's just full of dirt. So now, while the car's still up on the jack stand, I'll have a look at this CV joint, which was flicking grease everywhere, secure that back properly, clean it up, and the car should be good to go. And I'm going to run this for a little bit because the Audi's MOT expires today. And as I usually do things, I've left it to the last minute and I completely forgot, so I didn't book an MOT in. So it's going to be sitting here for a little bit. To be fair, there are a couple bits I need to do with the Audi, so I'll pull it in here afterwards, do a couple bits, get it ready for the MOT, and just daily the Micra wrap for a little bit. So, right, the next step will be to have a look at all of this CV grease which has flicked up, because like I say, the clip in here isn't really holding on too good. For now, I'll just spray a bit of this good stuff and wipe it off and put a new clip on, because that one's clearly not holding. Right, now the CV boot is hopefully securely mounted. The next bit will be just chuck all the wheels back on, lower it on the floor, because as far as I'm aware, everything that the track day slightly messed with has been fixed. So we'll do that now. There we are. Audi's now in here for the foreseeable future until I sort the tyres and the MOT out. This will be worked on properly, a full tear down, take all the suspension apart, take a lot of the engine apart, because it needs, a lot of it needs just new seals and everything. It's quite weepy, it smells quite hot, so I want to do a proper nice job on it. But not yet. I'll daily the Micra for a little bit while I get this back on the road, and then I'll swap them around, and then I've got a plan with the Micra. I think tomorrow, if I'm back here, I will be doing just bits on this to make it ready for the MOT. So Just simple, boring stuff, but stuff that needs to be done. So. Right, it's now been a week since we were last working on the Micra, but now, this weekend, as you've seen, just got a nice set of new tyres. The ones that were currently on here didn't look too bad, but they were cracking a lot and they were from 2012, so I realised I should probably just change them, as I'm going to be dailying this when the MOT is done, so I don't really want to blow out from some tyres from 2012. And earlier when I was taking the wheels off, I realised that there's a couple calipers that are binding quite bad, so that's another thing that I've added to the MOT list actually. So the Audi's to-do list in terms of getting this MOT ready is to fix the horn, test all the lights all around, new tyres, which we've done, new wipers, which you saw there, I bought them earlier while I was waiting for the tyres, and then fixing the washer jet, which should be a simple fix, hopefully, as the one over there on the passenger side works, but the driver side does not. But I can see the fluid is being pumped into the driver side one, so it's just a blocked nozzle. So we'll clean that out and hopefully, like I say, that should be an easy fix. But yeah, so that's what this weekend's for. But for now, I reckon this evening or this afternoon, I'm going to be fixing these calipers. I reckon it's just the slide pins, so take them out, grease them up again, put it back on, and just test them to see if they're all good. But other than that, that should be everything I need to do for this. As I'm scared because I said the wipers and the washer jets should be an easy job, my first thing I'm going to do now is do the washers and the windscreen wipers. So that's going to be the first thing we'll do. I don't know how long these have been on it, but my goodness, they need changing. There you go. God, it does smell, but I mean they work. They're a bit off, like aligned wise. So I think what I'll do now is just mess about with it, just so we can get it spraying more in the centre of the windshield rather than that one's right at the bottom and this one's way up here. So now the windscreen wipers and jets are working properly. My next thing will be the fog lights. These haven't actually worked, and if I'm honest, I kind of want them to. What we'll do is we'll chuck the fog lights on and see what turns on and see what doesn't. Yeah, obviously I need to fix this because I don't have a rear fog light, so we'll need to have a look at this as well. And as mentioned, no fronts working either, so definitely need to have a look at the fog light situation on this. So the fact that I'm not getting any voltage from the front fogs leads me to believe that the switch itself isn't actually connected to anything. It's not sending anything down to the fog lights, which is a bit annoying because that means I'm going to have to disassemble my dashboard. Don't really want to, but it looks like I'm going to have to, so we'll have a look. Right, another thing I have realised is if you push this button, that little yellow arrow appears. But if you push the fog lights, there is a bulb underneath there for a little yellow triangle like that, but it's not coming up. So I might have a look at the fuses and see if maybe a fuse has been tripped. Right, after plenty of messing about, I've finally managed to take this plug out and see all the terminals and see if they look okay. You kind of need the actual plug in there, which is kind of annoying because we need to see if the connections behind that plug are actually all good. But you know what? I think this will be a job for tomorrow because it's getting a bit late now. So I reckon we'll come back tomorrow and continue with good old wiring, eh? Morning, it's now the next day. Yesterday we left off trying to fix the fog lights. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a pain. So what I might do is leave that one till last, and I might try and get all of the main ones that I know out of the way first. So the plan for this morning is going to be for the binding brakes. So I think the plan will be to literally take the caliper off, re-grease the slide pins, and that should hopefully fix it. Right, so the first one I found here is, you know, this is, the handbrake's not on, but there's no way I'm turning that with my hands. That is obviously this caliper's binding quite heavily, but I think it's going to be them slide pins we're going to take off and just have a look at fixing them first. Right, so the next thing to fix on our list is the horn. When I first picked this car up, the Audi logo on here was actually upside down. So I was like, you know what, I don't like that, so I'm going to take it off and turn it the right way. And when I took this off, the actual little pressure plate said top, and it was pointed down. So I swapped it around, and then the first drive after I did that, the horn stayed on the entire drive. Don't really know why I did that, so I'm not gonna lie, I unplugged the horn bit. So what we'll need to do now is literally just unscrew these two bolts, flip this the wrong way around, and then chuck this back on, plug the horn back in, and then that should fix it. If it means that the horn will work, that's what I have to do, I guess. So. So now the horn's done, we'll move back onto these fog lights. What I've done is I've got the ignition in, I've got the fog light switch on, and chucking a multimeter on this, usually you'd put 20 volts because these run in, 12 volts. But if I put it in just 2 volt mode and I connect these up, 0.0034, it's roughly in that area. So it is actually getting powered out to it. See, this would tell me a fuse, but the fuse looks completely fine. So I might just swap a couple of fuses out and see if I can